Hey everybody, it's Ryan and Don here with Roll for Initiative. We're really excited today to give you a review of a player race sourcebook from Matthew Gravlin with the Canitours.
And this features some fantastic art by Nikita Orlov. I hope I'm saying everyone's names right.
I really like this book. I have a couple of things that I would love to see tweaked a little bit, things I didn't absolutely love, but we'll get to those later. But overall, I was really excited reading through this. Again, yeah, the art is absolutely gorgeous, and they're really great creatures. They're very fun and dynamic. They have really cool cultures to them, and I think fit easily into any campaign. Something that's homebrew or something from any of the existing adventures, I think they're going to feel right at home.
The Canitours are broken down into...
Well, maybe we should probably just clarify.
Yeah.
So Canitours are, think centaur, but instead of the horse body and a human head, they are a dog body, sort of a human torso and arms, and then the dog's head. And they're broken down into different breeds. They're really neat, and they range anywhere from sizes small to medium.
And I like the different breeds relate to the breeds of dogs they're kind of based off of. So you have...
Oh, the How How is the smallest.
Yes, the How How is the smallest, which is essentially a Chihuahua. And because it's the smallest, it kind of is able to blend in and kind of go unseen and is a little bit more cultured, which I'm not sure if I definitely agree with a Chihuahua being cultured, but that might just be the Chihuahuas I've met.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. And we'll pause for all of the people lambasting us in the comments, talking about how they were noble creatures. One thing that I think is really neat, kind of across the Canitour culture, is the idea that they are not dogs, and that's a very derogatory term to use for them. However, the How Hows have been so integrated into human and elven and dwarven society that some of the Canitours will actually refer to them as men, sort of as a dig for how, I don't know, maybe domesticated the How Hows have become.
In some ways, they reminded me a bit of the Tabaxi in the fact that they were canine creatures, but they are not dogs, the same way that Tabaxi are feline, but they're not cats. They're not house pets. Yeah,
and your How Hows stand about even with any of your halfling creatures, so that gives you about an idea of the size. But then, of course, there is the back half of the dog type body that they have there. The artwork is really gorgeous. They remind me a little of like sort of floofy Spanish conquistador type. If I'm getting that wrong, I'm sure someone will let us know. So my favorite of the Canitours are the Mountain, which is really kind of neat. If you get the book, you'll see that sort of all the other ones are sort of a play on name of the dog breed. But the Mountains are described as being a little bit more nomadic, and they live in the mountains but also forests, but they're just so big and set in their ways, they're often just referred to as mountains. They're based off of a husky type breed, and they really come across as being sort of a barbarian type race. They're nomadic and barbarian. They're very, very territorial. So as you play one, that might be something to keep in mind. You might be met with even more resistance, or you might have a harder time socially, depending on how much you encounter Canitours in your world. But I really like them. Again, the art for them is really gorgeous, and I thought they had a really cool and sort of dynamic cultural system set up. Yeah, I like sort of that nomadic barbarian tribe.
So my favorite was the Grig, and initially I thought I was probably going to be more partial to the one that was the Corgi inspired, but the Grig, which is a greyhound kind of inspired, is actually what I really found interesting. They're a lot more connected to the land. The artwork for the Grig kind of is a archer, reminds me of like a ranger or something like that. They're also connected a lot with elves. They're kind of a neutral, they don't tend to pick sides one way or the other, kind of that very much connecting with the land and not connecting as much with the people. And I just thought they were really cool. They have a little bit more speed, which makes sense being based off of a greyhound. And I think also their agility, a lot of their agility scores are bumped up.
As you go through the book, you'll see that the Canitours do speak Common, and then they also speak a nature language that sounds like barks and growls, but a lot more nuance. There's more cadence to it with each other and across the different Canitour tribes or Canitour breeds. And they're able to communicate with dogs and wolves and wargs and things like that as long as they keep their language really simple, I think is what it says. I had a couple of things that I wish maybe got a little bit different attention, or I would maybe change a bit if I were to include this. First of all is just their speed. Their speeds range from 25 to 35. And for me, I mean, dogs are fast. Even just regular dogs tend to be pretty fast, and these things are getting pretty big. Some of the mountain breed and the Bulldog breed, they are 600-700 pounds, and they still only have a speed of 30 or 35. To me, that seems a little goofy. Now, I understand trying to keep balance and what the other players are going to have for their speed, and it's really going to throw things off if you have a Grig that has a movement speed of 60. But still, I think I would like to see him bumped to 35 and 40, keeping the idea that they are a little faster and leaner, and I don't know, that just makes sense to me, especially when you look at the Centaur stats in the Monsters Manual. There is a size difference between the Canitours and the Centaurs, I know. That's just kind of one of my personal things.
And I think one thing I saw looking through this is you could easily use this as a guide to just have, instead of the Canitours, but canine in your world, kind of a little bit closer to Tabaxi, where they, instead of having 4 legs and a set of arms, they just are more humanoid with, 2 arms, 2 legs. And I think that, in that case, the speed to me actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an extra set of legs that are speeding you along.
And, I'm thinking about as NPCs, if in your campaign you have a lot of gnolls, introducing the Canitours or a 2-legged version of the Canitours that maybe at first pass look a lot like gnolls, that could introduce some really interesting social moments and cultural moments for your party to have to wade through. So the only other sort of issue that I took with the book is the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are the race that are based very clearly off of bulldogs. And the book does go out of its way to let us know that, for the most part, Canitours have neutral or chaotic neutral alignments. But the Bulldogs, I think, and if I'm wrong, someone will let me know, I think they're the only one that the book suggests having an evil alignment. In the artwork for them, they're very muscly. I think they have, blood on their teeth or on one of their weapons. They're just presented as a very ferocious, dangerous, evil breed of the Centaurs. Of the Canitours. And, I think just Bulldogs and Bulldog owners already have to go through a lot because of the stigma that everyone has about Bulldogs, except for Bulldog owners. And I'm not saying to make them nice. I'm just saying I would love to have seen a little note about how in their family social circles or when they pledge themselves to a house, they can be very gentle and fiercely loyal as well as fierce fighters. And I think that might have been enough for me.
Yeah. Just a small tweak.
Yeah.
One of the things I really liked with this source book is it wasn't just here are the stats for these different things and some cool artwork. It was a fully thought out, all of these different breeds as well as the general race had cultural elements to it, and enough that it gives you substance without limiting, so it would be very easy to tweak and adjust and expand while you're introducing it into your world. And I thought that was actually really well done to have that kind of, as I was reading it, I kept being like, ooh, this is a cool idea. Ooh, I could expand over here. And that it was a source of inspiration as well as being a source of this new race for your players to have or for NPCs.
Yeah, so as far as getting people excited, getting me excited for it, Matt, great job there. I can't wait to... I'm really hoping that we run into them in the campaign that Dawn is running, and I know that if the next time I'm able to run sort of a fantasy setting, I'm absolutely going to use these. So, and I can't wait to see you all using them and hearing about them and reading tweets and messages about how you choose to incorporate Canitours, either as a player or as a GM, as just an NPC race in your world. I really think that these would make a fantastic sort of mainstay addition to the fantasy D&D style games.
So thank you for watching. I want to give a special shout out to all of our patrons, especially Sean, Arvy, Will, and Lainey. If you're interested in joining us on this campaign and getting some cool perks, you can check us out at patreon.com/rollforinitiative.
Yeah, you can get videos early for $1, and you can get patron-only videos for just $2 a month. It's a really cool way to support and be a part of the team.
Thanks everybody who watches. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to get notified every time we have a new video, hit that bell. Make sure to comment below and share the video with other people who are looking for inspiration for new races to incorporate into your game.
All right, so thanks so much. I'm Ryan.
I'm Dawn.
And we'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative.